You've been really critical of the Supreme Court over the Windsor decision on DOMA, Defense of Marriage Act. And I think I heard you say something along the lines of their ruling, in essence, denied equal protection for every America. Am I stating your views correctly?
Well, it is a denial of equal protection for all Americans. And I know we don't have very much time at this point in your show to
Sure.
maybe thresh all of that out. I just want to say that I do believe that marriage is between a man and a woman. And this is a revolution that we are encountering now as well. For all the thousands of years of recorded human history, about 5,000 years, there is no instance of any culture, nation, or tribe ever having as the established standard for marriage anything other than between man and woman. It may have been multiple women and a man, it may have been something like that, but it was always between men and women. It wasn't until the year 2000 that the world has embarked on this radical experiment of marriage between other than man and woman. I think that nature tells us, our biology tells us that marriage is between man and woman.
And our Bible.
That's right. When we tamper with something that was generated by the creator of the universe, I think there are profound consequences that we haven't yet realized. That's why this matters. It matters, very important for the subsequent generations that we are charged with rearing.
Well, I've got two last questions. One of my previous guests said that the way immorality, which is what you're talking about, gets in the culture is first they argue for tolerance, then acceptance, and then celebration. And I added that after celebration, there is intolerance for those who disagree with their immoral positions. Does this seem the way the gay rights advocates have treated people with a Christian worldview or people who disagree with them?
That's where we are now. As a matter of fact, we see that in legislation being pushed all across the United States to punish people who don't agree with that viewpoint. And I think that's very reflective of where we are at in the culture and why we see the rise of tyranny. It's the basis for hate speech laws across the United States. It is an attempt to have government coerce, enforce speech and behavior. Let me say that again. This is an effort to have government coerce, force, speech and behavior. And it's being pushed and advocated by the gay community. This is their ultimate goal, is to not allow for diversity of opinion on this issue. Because they don't want to be celebrated. They want to force everyone to not only agree with them, but also have to finance their agenda. And they also believe that they have the right, David, to determine on a near daily basis what their agenda is. Today, the big push is on transgender. And so they're continuing to push us down the road. I believe that we're going to see coming an effort for multiples in marriage, not just two, but multiples in marriage. I think they want to legalize that. I think also they want to abolish age of consent laws, which means we would do away with statutory rape laws so that adults would be able to freely prey on little children sexually. That's the deviance that we're seeing embraced in our culture today. And again, we need to stand up and as believers not be afraid to speak the truth. Don't be intimidated. There's no reason to be. This is something where our message is to spread goodness and joy and wholeness and healing. And we do that through a loving God with a message that frees people. It doesn't enslave people.